So what's up, everyone? I got another video here. Got some news this morning. One of my subjects that's very personal to me, which is Dean guitars. I played Dean guitars for 2 decades now. This is my first one. My Dean Z Phantom. Unfortunately, one of the original shapes they've been making since the 70s, but they can't anymore. But I woke up this morning to the news that Dean parent company has applied for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, which is something a lot of people saw coming because of the recent issues they had since the death of their owner, and struggles dealing with the holding on to artists, and of course the lawsuit that they faced from Gibson guitars over their body shapes like the Z. And so let's see here. We got an article here. Dean Guitar parent company files for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. Dean Guitar's parent company has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection, marking the latest chapter in the turbulent period for one of guitar industry's most recognizable brands. Of course, Dean's most famous for the ML, which was famously played by, of course, Dimebag Darrell, Armadillo Distribution Enterprises, and Concordia LLC, the intellectual property holding company behind Dean Guitars. Luna Guitars and ddrum have jointly filed volunteer petition under Chapter 11 of the U.S. Bankruptcy Code in the Middle District of Florida. Unlike Chapter 7 bankruptcy, which involves liquidation and sales of assets, Chapter 11 allows a company to continue operating while it reorganizes its finances obligations under the court supervision. According to Armadillo, day-to-day operations will continue as normal throughout the restructuring process. I'm glad to keep operating. I got about a secondhand Dean Exile, which I used to, and that's really good. I didn't think I'd be buying like another D in a while because I had my Dean there, my Z there. I got a Vendetta, which was a pretty cheap economy brand, like 7-string, because I actually first 7-string I owned it. Then I got my PRS 7-string, and now I got this Dean Exile. In the statement, according to the filing, Armadillo owner and CEO Pamela Keris described the move as a strategic decision intended to strengthen the company's long-term position. This is a productive step to strengthen our financial foundation and position this iconic brand for our long-term success, Keris said. Resolving the financial pressures of recent years allow us to focus fully on growth. What we've built, we remain fully committed to our customers, our dealers network, and our employees. Dean, Luna, ddrums are strong brands. This process will allow us to emerge as a more resilient organization. The company also emphasizes that existing orders, dealers, relationships, and customer commitments will continue to be honored during Chapter 11 process. So that's good news to hear. If you got a Dean, you're still going to get it. And if you're a dealer, you're still going to be able to sell them. Financial pressure amount. Court filings indicate that Armadillo estimates its assets to be between $1 million and $10 million, while liabilities are estimated between $10 million and $50 million. One of the company's largest creditors remains Valley National Bank, which is listed as holding an unsecured claim of approximately $3.3 million. The bankruptcy filing follows several years of financial and legal challenges for Armadillo. In 2023, lawsuit against the company was responsible for nearly $10 million in debt, while leaders reportedly sought to recover outstanding obligations. Years of legal battles. Dean has also spent much of the past decade involved in high-profile intellectual property disputes. Most notably, the company faced lengthy legal battle with Gibson over the use of several iconic guitar body shapes. In 2025, a federal jury sided with Gibson, rejecting Dean's claims regarding the Flying V, Explorer, and SG style designs. More recently, Dean found itself in a dispute with the estate of late guitarist Dimebag Darrell. That's, of course, like I said, Dean's mostly associated with Dimebag. So it's been a big loss for them to lose the estate there. Concerning trademarks and contract issues surrounding the Stealth and the Razorback models. While Dean ultimately prevailed in the case, the matter has continued to cast uncertainty over some of the brand's most important signature-related assets. What happens next for Dean Guitars? For now, Dean, Luna Guitars, and ddrum remain in business, and customers are unlikely to notice immediate changes as reorganization process unfolds. The biggest question is what the company will look like once it emerges from Chapter 11, with liabilities potentially reaching tens of millions of dollars and several years of legal expenses behind it. Armadillo faces a significant restructuring effort. So, yeah, I'm glad that it's only Chapter 11, not Chapter 7. I am a big fan of Dean guitars. I like all kinds of guitars, but Dean's are one of my favorite. Close to my heart because I've had one since 2003. I find them actually really underrated nowadays, where they are, their quality is very good. Dean Exile I got is pretty awesome. It plays great, and it has a lot of the modern features people are looking for. So as you can see here, here's my Dean Exile. I like the color on this. Plays really well. 7-string. A lot of modern features on this one too, and I think that's where Dean's underrated, because a lot of people associate with my other guitar. I think some people turn off. Some people love the really big ass headstock. That's what it's called. This one here. People associate with this headstock here, which is the really big ass headstock, and some people are turned off with this because the G string always falls out to it on this. They make like I said, some company makes like a corral that brings them together, but maybe a lot of people don't know that Dean makes a lot of guitars with kind of a normal headstock like this. They do have a Les Paul style headstocks and other stuff like that. Good options for everybody. And I saw they had some almost like a Telecaster model. Hope we still get to see them for many more years. If you like the video, subscribe. I got another video about I fixed up my old Strat body Kramer Focus, which I showed in one of my other videos, so you can go check that out. VJ Division, my main channel, VJ Division Plays Guitar, which I have a lot more of my covers. I migrated a lot of my guitar playing videos over there. Help out with my algorithm. I also have a gaming channel, Son of X51. I do video games and entertainment, live streams, so hit the like button, check it out, and I'll see y'all later.